All right. Welcome all our listeners, all our members, and all our constituents for another fine episode of the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast with our co-hosts, myself, Sosa, and my brother in crime, Mr. IJUST. What's going on, IJUST? How you feeling today?
I'm great, my brother, man. You know, we up to episode number 23, the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast.
Jordan.
Yes, sir. So, another episode as we're kind of piggybacking off of episode number 22 in this series of transitioning from an employee to being self-employed, and what are some of the steps you're going to need to ultimately go to being a business owner. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. And as always, host, man, let's dive right into it.
Now you've done, you did an analyzation of yourself. You did your research. You did your mission statement.
Value proposition.
Your value proposition. So now we're going to talk about, okay, now actually getting the business, getting you signed up, getting you legally formatted as a business. The very first step that you want to do is you want to think of your name. What's going to be the name of your business, right? If it's New Jersey .gov, that's where you go on, and then it has a link there where you could actually, see if your name is available. You punch in the name. Once you punch in the name and you push enter, there's a certain period of time. I'm not sure if each state is different, but it's usually like a year or 6 months or 30 days. I'm not sure, but I think that's regulated by the state. But once you have that, now your name is, no one else can touch that name. Okay. So, and then from that point on, now you're going to formulate your company. There's 4 different ones, right? There's sole proprietor. There's LLC, limited liability company. There's S Corp.
There's like nonprofit organizations. Yes. The ones you mentioned are certainly like the most common.
Yes.
The limited liability corporation, like sole proprietor, S Corp.
You just use an LLC. And like I said, you have the corporate, you have the tax shelter, you have all the shelter of your business without as much tax liability as an S Corp or a corporation.
I think one thing to kind of go back a little bit, what you were saying is so important. First, you want to certainly come up with the name, and then, you want to go into your state, their website. You want to put the name of the business you're thinking of, make sure that it's not already being used, and then take it a step further, even go into Google and see if your name that you came up is being used. A lot of times you'll see that it's either 1 or 2 or some type of variation of your business name. So I think those were intangibles and nuance that you definitely want to be keen on. And once you kind of get to that point, you're now looking to the point that Sosa was making about your business formation. And most of us are going to start off with the LLC. And even before you go to the LLC, you kind of want to go and register your business with your state and do your state registrations prior to even, going to the IRS or the federal government website to start your LLC. So I certainly would recommend that you go through and register your business in the state that you're in, and then get that state tax ID number, because that's going to be some of the information that they're going to ask you once you go onto the federal government website in order to get your EIN number. Yeah, but once you get that LLC going, you're kind of now in the game there, So you have your business name, you attach your LLC, and then next you kind of want to go forward with like maybe saying what address you're going to use. If you're going to get like a professional PO box through like UPS, you'll have a physical PO box, but you'll have a physical address that you can use. So right. It's a professional address, although when you go there, you're going to a PO box.
When you first start your business, that is the easiest time for you to be approved for a line of credit. They're going to offer it to you as soon as you sign. Go to the bank and you go open, because now you got your EIN number, right? Now you register with the state. Now you register with the federal government. Now you got a tax EIN number. Now once you got that tax EIN number, your next step is you want to go try to open up a checking account. Well, now when you go to the bank and you open up a checking account, that is the easiest time for you to get a line of credit, because they're going to offer you right then and there for signing. They're going to offer you a line of credit, and then later on down the line, we try to get a line of credit. Well, now it's now they're holding you to a whole different criteria, because now at first they were going to give you the money based on the hopes of the money that you can make, but now when you go try to get the line of credit, it's going to be based on the money that you are making. So if it's not enough coming in, or if it's a little bit less coming in, they may give you the line of credit, but it's going to be a lot less than what you first could have got. That's always your best opportunity. That's always the smartest play. But if you're trying to start, I don't care if it's an Airbnb business, if it's a cleaning business, if it's a delivery business, online business, you can take that $10, $12, $15,000 and you can leverage that to start to get all your supplies, to get everything you need to get you started in business day one. So that's a very good.
And pay some of those filing fees. Like, so for example, when you go to register with the state that you're in, you got to pay your filing fee, which is roughly somewhere, I don't know, depending on the state you're in, anywhere between 50 to 150 bucks. You can use that line of credit.
If a bank's going to give you money, you're not going to look like a strong borrower if you have a PO box, or if you have your home address as your business. I'm not to say that you can't, but you're just not going to look as strong. You look a lot stronger when you have a business address. You have a separate business line, and there's so many things online. And I mean, there's Ring, and there's Ring, whatever. Ring. There's like
you
five.
You can even do it right through your mobile carrier. You can convert your mobile carrier to a business phone line, and then you'll still have your mobile cell phone number, and then you'll have a business phone number going right to your mobile device. So the point that he's making is that, the LLC allows you to take advantage of the benefits of both the corporation and the partnership business structure. So to be on the safe side, you definitely want to start off with the LLC.
Yes.
And once you consult with a professional CPA, a lot of times, you have regular meetings with them. You'll know the right time when it is to change your business from an LLC to an S Corp. As you grow, you scale, you get to a certain amount, you're no longer looked at as basically a small business enterprise. So, you'll almost walk yourself right into going from a LLC or into a S Corp. So, to be on the safe side, you want to start off with the LLC, and that's just kind of the basics of it. I think
definitely start with the LLC, right? Anything past that, you get with your tax professionals, and be honest with you, they'll let you know when it's time for you to transition, and put a different classification on your business. They're the ones that let you know that. That's like Brother IJUST is saying. Once you're first starting out, you just want to simplify it as easy as possible. You just want to start with LLC. Now you're protected, your business is protected, but more importantly, your personal assets are protected. That's a very important thing. When you're a sole proprietor, your personal assets aren't protected. When you're LLC, though, your personal assets are protected, and now you're separated. So now of course you're going to have good credit, and they're going to use your credit, but a lot of times they're going to give you lines of credit, and it's not even going to show up on your credit. So when you have an LLC, so that's very important.
The business structure certainly affects how much you pay in taxes, your ability to raise money, the paperwork you're going to need to file, and most importantly, like So said, your personal liability. That's something that you definitely want to be aware of, because if you get sued and you're a sole proprietor and it's just your social security number, guess who they're coming after?
They're coming after you.
They're coming after you.
But listen, you got a business, you can always shut that business down and start all over. You can always shut that business down, file bankruptcy on that business, and go start all over. You can always go do that. Okay, so
and learn from your mistakes and start all over.
And learn from your mistake. Be like, okay, that didn't work. Let me try again. Go get your business name, register your business name. Go register that business name with the state. right? Get your state done, get your state identification, go to your federal government, go register your business with them. You'll get an EIN number, go open up yourself a bank account, go get yourself a line of credit with once you open that bank account, fund your business, and there you go. As easy as you make it as you make it to yourself, and it'll be as hard as you make it to yourself. So if you simplify it, it'll be easy.
And a lot of things that are easy are simple, even though everything that is simple aren't easy. So, I definitely I definitely understand what you're saying there. So with nowadays with Google, man, and YouTube, most really no excuse here. So it is really made easy for you. Sometimes you might have to have, like, I'm just speaking for myself, y'all.
Yeah.
I have my computer, my laptop, I have my phone, I'm Googling, and I'm doing the documents at the same time. I'm one of those that I do like to figure things out on my own. I think I retain the information better, so I'm one that will advocate, unless it's something super detrimental that may cost you money. And, but if it's just a common mistake, go through it yourself. I encourage you to go through it yourself if you got the time to set aside to do it. If you're the type of learner like me that retains the information better by going through the process yourself, versus, having an outside company just do everything for you. If you don't really have the time, you're going to pay. If you got the time, you're going to look to save the money.
But I think the most important thing is, and then what we want to stress through this whole series is play your hand. Is if don't sit there holding your cards. Don't get stuck in fear. Don't get stuck in lack of knowledge or doubt. Don't get stuck in doubt. Man, go out there, man. Put your hand, lay your cards out on the table, and hopefully you get a win. If not, if you don't get a win, then you know what? Let's play another hand because I'm starting to get good at this. And that's really all. And that's really a big thing of what it is. And Brother I and us, we could have did a lot of this in one or two episodes, but we kind of broke this down because we really are dedicated to helping you, especially those people that are on the fence, man, that are tired of being at their job and or tired of just they're not living their dream life. And they know that where they're at is not going to supply their dream life. So then, okay, they're thinking about getting the business. So, okay, so we're trying to help you take that transition, whatever you didn't know, or whatever hesitation you have. Hopefully we can help bridge that gap so you can go ahead and take that leap of faith and go ahead and go for yours out here. Because
nothing beats a failure but a try, man. You gotta go out there and just do it. Like Sosa's saying, shout out to those that are watching us right now on YouTube. Shout out to the Entrepreneur Chamber, our Facebook group. But like you said, Sos, it is important that you just go ahead and just do it. Put the cards out there, and don't be afraid. Like, if you got a mentor, and that's a topic for another podcast episode that we'll speak about in this process, getting that mentorship. But, take your hand to your mentor and say, hey, listen, what can I do better? Or, is it, do you recommend that I register my business before I get my EIN number, or should I just get my EIN number? These are questions that you may want to ask somebody if how to do it eludes you. Because often, so it's like you said, it's one or two things, man. And it's not for sure, but it's primarily one or two things. It's either the fear, the doubt, let's just say three. So in the how to, so if you combine all of those, if you got fear, would lead you to doubt, and then you don't really know how to, a lot of times you're going to be like, man, I ain't even doing this. Or you're going to wind up outsourcing it and paying a lot of money to get it done. But if you tune into the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast, to Soul's point, that's the reason why we didn't break this down into one episode, because we want to give you the nuances and the different information that you're going to need, because, we understand that we were once where you're at now. For those who are stuck on the fence, or if you're not stuck on the fence and you went and started your business, you like, all right, what do I do now? There are some people like, all right, I did this, I did that. Then what happens? What do I do now? And as long as you keep tuning into the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast, trust me, we're going to give you that information. Now, again, we're not here to hold your hand, but we are here to give you that information to help you remove that fear and that doubt and to give you the knowledge of the how to do these things. But at the end of the day, like Sosa's saying, it's really your hand.
That's right.
You, the viewer, you, the listener,
right.
It's your hand.
That's
you
right.
got to play that. I can't play your hand for you. Sos can't play your hand for you.
Right.
And adversity is a great educational tool. Like That's the brother said, man, hey, you might fail one hand. Guess what? There's more cards to be dealt. Play another hand. Learn from your mistakes. Yep.
That's right. I think that's excellent what you're saying. And it's just like, because that's ultimately what it is. Because it's like, right. So brother I and us, we made the transition from worker to self-employed, and now we're more into the owner field, but we're making the transition too. We're towing the line of self-employment to owner, because owner is where entrepreneur is the last destination. That's where ultimately you want to get to. When you get into business, you should immediately start thinking about, I want to one day get to entrepreneurship, but first you got to get to business owner. So we're helping you get first into self-employment, because when you go from a worker, all right, if you could do not, because our goal, what we would love is that you go straight, to be honest with you, from worker to business owner. Because if you could skip that, and the last episode of this series is going to be about scaling. So I don't know what whoever's listening or whoever's not listening, or whatever, go tell a friend,
listen, whoever not listen, you need to listen.
Whoever not listen, you need to listen. And whoever
that's
listens,
right, Sos, let them know.
because when we start talking about scaling, that's really going to be the key. That's the key that's going to put you in business ownership. And that's really where you want to be, because it's great to be self-employed and all that, but you ain't going to really reap the benefits and really reap the awards until you get to that point where now you're the owner and you're scaling. Once you're scaling, you're immediately at that point an owner. So that's where you want to get to. And that's what we're trying to, help everybody here, get to, because, like brother I said, man, it's really all on you and what you want to do and where you want to take this. So hopefully we can give you some of the cheat codes so you can make this transition a lot quicker and a lot more seamlessly than myself and brother I were able to do it.
And I think that's an excellent point, man. And, that goes into the help empower us so we can help empower you, because, and for those that don't know, that is the mission statement of the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. And if you haven't done so, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. But so I think that's so important, man, that you articulate that to the viewer, to the listener, and make them aware that, although we are going through these different steps, depending where you're at, who you are, the viewer, the listener, you may be able to go from employee straight to being a business owner. That's what we want for ourselves. So that's what we want for this community.
Right. We're just like you, right? We had to get in there and we had to do it, right? Experience is the best teacher. So a lot of these mistakes is mistakes that I myself made. All right. So I'm telling you this stuff because you don't have to do that, right? You right? Because that's where wisdom comes from, right, brother?
Absolutely, man. So and it's to your point. Like, I'll give y'all an example. Even when I went to go open up my business checking account, I didn't have all the right documents. I had to go back home to get certain documents. So, like, just listening to us, we'll let you know. All right, like So said, you have done all those things. You go open up your business account. All right, what do you need to show up to the bank with?
That's a great point.
Just your driver's license? Do you need your EIN number? You need your formation of documents, whether that's the long, short. Most banks probably going to want the long form over your short form.
Your certificate of formation, they're going to want your EIN number off top.
Yeah.
So before you open an account, you know that you're going there with that. That's right.
Absolutely.
If you go in there with none of that stuff, then you're going to have to come back. You're going to waste the trip. You're going to waste gas. You're going to have to go back. And And understand too, once you're in business and think about it, there's a lot of advantages, tax advantages that you get once you're in business as opposed to being a W-2 employee. A W-2 versus a 1099. When you go to work and you run your gas to go to work, you just putting your gas money in and that's what you're doing, right? When you get your paycheck, or what they're taking the SUI money, they're taking your Social Security money, they're taking the state tax, and they're taking federal tax. A lot of times, 20% of your check is gone, as opposed to a 1099. When you go to gas, when you go to get gas, that could be written off. The mileage that you took to go there, that could be written off.
And those are known as the fringe benefits of having your business. What are a few other things before we close out this episode that you'd like to share with the viewers?
Without getting too far ahead with our listener, I think that's a lot. That's pretty much where because this episode was more focusing on getting your business structured the right way, getting your business on the ground. Before you get on the ground and really running, is to get everything in order so that way you're legally recognized as a business that's going to operate. And another thing that you want to also understand is what kind of business are you? Are you a service business that's going to charge sales tax, or you're a business that's not going to, that doesn't necessarily have to charge sales tax? The next thing that I would strongly urge anybody doing, depending on the type of business that you're in, if you're in a business that you need supplies or you need certain things to run and operate your business, go open up an account with one of these, with whatever company, supply company or whatever it is. If it's a hair, if you're a barber and you got to get hair products and things like that, where there's usually a store, a central store that has all these type products, you can register with them. Right. And once you register with them, what you want to do is there's a thing called nav.com. Nav.com, I strongly urge you want to register with nav.com, because what nav.com is going to do is they're like the credit bureau reporting agency for businesses. It's a free account. And what it is once you open the account, right, with your supplier, you don't have to pay them right away. But they usually have 30-day net, and you have to pay it back within 30 days. Well, every time that you open that account and you get supplies and you pay that back within 30 days, that's getting reported to your business credit. So because you have a business score. Now you could also go a step further and you can register with Dun and Bradstreet. You don't have to register with Dun and Bradstreet. I recommend that you do. I recommend that you do, just like you did. Right, like I say, it's not
because a lot of people you may interact with, they go to Dun and Bradstreet to verify who you are.
Yeah.
Same way they would with like the Better Business Bureau. So to your point, I agree with you. I recommend that you do register.
I definitely recommend. Like I said, it's not 100% necessary, but it is something that I recommend that you do, especially once you're in business. Especially one day if you're trying to get big funding. If you're trying to get big funding, if you have your NAV, you have your Dun and Bradstreet, and you have your own address, you have a separate address for your business, you have a separate phone line. You just look so much, you have yourself a website. Get yourself a website too. I strongly urge, listen, websites don't cost a lot. Like I said, GoDaddy.com will pretty much do everything for you. Just something simple like that. You don't have to be this genius website
a coder or anything. Nowadays,
you don't have to do that. A lot of these stuff,
even got it where nowadays they even have it where you can do it yourself, and it may not be the most sophisticated website.
Exactly.
But again, you don't have to have the most sophisticated website. That doesn't automatically mean gazillion sales. So you can have a simple website and still do very well. So to the point you're making, get a website going.
No doubt, because the most important thing is when that bank pulls your business up, a lot of times, especially they're going to give you money, they're going to go to your website. So if you don't have a website, that's kind of like a strike against you. But if you had the website, that just makes you look so much stronger as a potential
client of theirs, and as your overall brand, and how that feeds into the image that you're presenting to the company.
Right.
That if everybody is checking up on you in this era, everybody checks up on everybody. You got how many stars you got, how many reviews you got per se.
That's right. So it just makes you a stronger applicant.
Yeah, it definitely makes you a stronger applicant.
So I think we gave you a lot of jewels and a lot of how to get your business started. We gave you a lot of good game. This is all stuff that we do ourselves, and if we start another business, we're gonna do it pretty much step by step of what we just said. So, like I said, we want to ultimately get you to the final episode of this series, which is scaling, because that's going to be the most fun episode, because who doesn't like talking about the dream and the hope of being able to scale and have, passive income? I mean, that's all our dream, to be able to have some type of residual passive income. That's all our dream. So we're going to get into that. We may have another topic in between that. There may be another step before we get ultimately to that episode, but that episode's coming up, and we're going to certainly let all our listeners know before that episode in, because we're going to strongly encourage you all to tune in. If you're just tuning in now, I suggest you go back about 3 or 4 episodes when we started this particular series, and you can kind of see the evolution of where we're at now. We started more or less with mindset and kind of getting your mind right, and then we kind of took it from there all the way to what we're talking about now, actually formulating your company, creating a legal entity, getting yourself funded.
Yeah, man, no doubt, man. So for those that are tuned in right now, thank you for watching another episode, the Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast. This is episode number 23. Shout out to the
Michael Jordan,
Chamber. That's right. Shout out to the Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group and the community that we're building. SOSA and I are building here on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Go ahead and drop a comment. If you want to ask SOSA or I a question, go ahead, drop that inside of the comment. We'll certainly reply to your questions or any comments that you may have. Other than that, Sos, you want to let the people know how, if they want to reach out to you directly, how can they reach out to you on socials?
Well, like I said, on Instagram, cap0g. You can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. We Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast. I was going to say we have a Facebook group, Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group. If you want to have some questions, or there's some things that you want to kind of backtrack on and talk to us personally, you can go right on there and you can inbox either one of us personally through that Facebook group, and we'd be more than happy to share some knowledge with you. Like we said, we don't want to ever come off like we're experts here, because we're not. We're just like you. We're just trying to get better, and we're trying to do this together with you. We're trying to get better right along with you, and we're trying to meet you where you're at. And hopefully you can accept where we're at, and hopefully we can help bridge the gap, and then hopefully we can all push each other forward to get to the next level all together. Like I like to say, like I've heard, one of the best quotes I heard is, "The rising tide lifts all boats, baby." So
that's right. Rising tide lifts all boats.
I know I want my boat lifted, and we can only hope that you want your boat lifted. So we thank you all for listening to this, our 23rd episode of the Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast. And as always, to all our members, all our listeners, and all our constituents, as always, please help empower us so we can help empower you.
Peace all and be victorious.